It actually predates the city. It was chartered by 8 white people, 2 Spokane tribal members, in the spring of 1879. And the building came later. They started in the home of Reverend Cowley, their very first pastor. His home had been built with the help of the Spokane Tribe Indians. They had asked him to come out as a teacher. So he came out as a missionary teacher. And then what happened is that the white folks also said, well, will you be our pastor? And he said, yes, I will serve both communities as long as you're open to both communities. This church has to belong to the whites and the Spokane Indians. The reason we are called Westminster is because the story is told that we had a building, but we didn't have a pastor. And a small Presbyterian church named Westminster had a pastor, but no building. The foundation stone was laid in 1890, and it is not basalt, it's granite. I know that building in stone was our founders' decision because they wanted to endure. They wanted to last. They wanted this church, or I should say, the Christian church, to endure. The original building had one rounded tower and one entrance. Through that humble little round tower, the space we're sitting in right now, it was just an oblong, very plain. We have pictures of it, very sort of severe actually. Lots of pews, nothing fancy, but over the course of the life of this church, it's added stained glass, it's added 2 square towers, replacing one humble little round tower that it used to have. It's pushed out so that we have room for a beautiful organ and all the organ's pipes. It's also pushed up, so we are sitting in the balcony, and they added the balcony because the church grew so rapidly in the 20th century that they needed more seating. So Westminster is a congregation of about 200. At its height in the post-World War II years, there were over 2,000 members. Well, it's a lot of work. You have to weigh the fact that it's built in good solid stone. It's meant to last for hundreds of years, against the truth that heat and light and cooling and repairs, roofing, those things continue. They go on forever. They always have to be taken care of. And like a lot of our old church buildings, if you defer maintenance too long, there's a point of no return. And the decay and the expense is more than a congregation can shoulder anymore. We've done little things like fresh paint, big things like taking care of our stained glass. It was so fragile and so worn that in a high wind you could see our stained glass move. It would wobble back and forth. It took us hundreds of thousands of dollars to get it fully repaired, reinstalled, reinforced. But we have done that because we really do believe that this beautiful historic landmark should continue its mission. I mean, we're a downtown church. We're active as a downtown church. And we also know of our value as an architectural and a landmark of our city.